Shalom, Yasharallah. Peace be unto the nation of Israel. Modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, despicable Israelites, otherwise known as the Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great. We are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in ancient Hebrew, we give all praises, glory, infinite honor to our power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Barach. Wadash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. All right, in the same tongue, we go to Adam Shana, Kabawadim, Laha Sequanium, Shalom, Global. All right, which is double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone on down, and Shalom, honors and salutations to Bayah Shada without the house of David. All right, your fellow servant, Malak Rayab, back at it again, another prophetic update. All right, centered around, when, the end time prophecies of the Lord's plagues, all right, to fall as a whirlwind of pain on the heads of the wicked, all right, these heathen nations, all right, through their armies and their constituents and so forth, okay, all right, which are the enemies of Yahweh Bashim Shai for oppressing and afflicting his sheep, all right, including you modern day Elamites, okay, you so-called Persians, okay, which are known as the Iranians now, okay, prophesy to go to war, with the least of the flock of the Edomite nation being the Amalekites in Jeremiah the 49th chapter. So this is a report on rigzone.com, dealing with Iran, threatening to disrupt the Strait of Hormuz, which would be further devastating to the financial markets of these nations, more so America, meaning that America does more importing than they do exporting, because America is a capitalistic corporation that has survived off of importing, okay, and through the trade through the petrodollar in exchange for oil, okay, where these nations, purchase the petrodollar, they essentially convert, their currencies into the petrodollar, which petrodollar is already depreciated in value as it is, and where Esau has the audacity to sanction, to use the petrodollar as a weapon of foreign policy to stifle and cripple the economies of their adversaries, including Iran, Russia, and so forth. And, really anyone is willing to continue to indulge in trade with them. So now, not only would Iran disrupting the Strait of Hormuz devastate the financial markets, but in conjunction with the fact that these nations, mainly on behalf of BRICS, are influencing these other foreign nations to de-dollarize the petrodollar. And I'm gonna get into why that's eventually going to bring about the death blow, the final death blow to America. All right, like a worldly proverb goes, roughly paraphrasing, if you want to affect a man, you hit him in the wallet. All right. So this is on rigzone.com. It says, Triad says reports indicate Iran intends to disrupt Strait of Hormuz. Recent reports indicate that Iran intends to disrupt operations in the Strait of Hormuz. Triad Global stated in its latest maritime security threat advisory, which was released on April 22nd. So it says the most recent incident, the seizure of the MSC Ares, demonstrates that Iran, despite being preoccupied with missile operations against Israel, the Israelis, state of Israel, okay, continues to interdict and control vessel movement in the Strait of Hormuz, Persian Gulf, and Arabian Sea, Jared noted in the MSTA, and that's all around. That's actually all around this area here. All right, you can see the Strait of Hormuz around the Persian Gulf in Iran, and then west to that is a Suez Canal, where in the article of this information here, it was further brought out that the Red Sea attacks on behalf of the Houthis of Lebanon have been further disrupting global trade. So war is playing a very pivotal part in the famine that's coming about, man, because these devils okay, are war hawks, and they like to fund both sides of the spectrum in terms of war, okay? You know, and that's for exposing their wicked, vile, profane nature, okay? As the devil the Bible speaks of, man. For exposing the hammer of the entire earth, okay? That modern day Assyrian and bloody Assyrian empire of carnality and witchcraft, okay? The wicked carving cast of the entire earth of that whore that sits upon many waters. And Salakia, you know what I'm saying, for the noise in the background, doing a little walk and talk. But, and this is why America, Babylon the Great, is destined to be destroyed in its last world's war, man. So it says here, Red Sea attack disrupt global trade. In the first 2 months of 2024, Suez Canal trade dropped by 50% from a year earlier, while trade through the Panama Canal fell by 32%, disrupting supply chains and distorting key macroeconomic indicators. So this is further retaliatory efforts by Iran's, the Israelis' enemies, you know, for they're continuing that onslaught of bombing their sovereign territories and their neighborhoods, putting a multitude of men, women, and children to death. So now, so now they're giving you devils a dose of your own medicine, okay, including waging geoeconomic war back on you, and this is gonna really affect America more than any other empire. So this is 2nd Esdras 15:5, and it says, "Behold, said the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, okay, death and destruction. Death and destruction will follow famine." Salah. Verse 6 says, "For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." Okay, the hurtful works of iniquity, sin upon sin on behalf of the Edomites. Okay, ruling over these nations with anger through your sword, as it says in Isaiah 14:6, is going to come back to bite you in the ass. Okay, it doesn't matter, how much you try to neglect the fact that you were responsible for what's coming to you. Okay. You're going to receive, you're going to receive what you have dished out. You're going to reap what you have sown, man. All right. This is Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49 and 20. And it says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had purpose against the inhabitants of Teman." All right, the modern day Germans, the intelligence of Esau, okay, and especially through the Oppenheimer, the Oppenheimer through the Manhattan Project, developing these atomic weapons, okay. So it says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." And that's you damn Israelis over there, you Amalekites, okay, you damn war hawks, So verse 21, "The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea." Because that war, this last world's war, is going to take place around the area, okay? The area, biblically known as Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment, around the Persian Gulf, the Suez Canal, all right, the Arabian Peninsula, all right, the Strait of Hormuz, the Mediterranean Sea, and so forth. And like it's prophesied in Joel, the 3rd chapter, okay? And it's going to bring forth the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, okay? So that was a point there. So back in this article, continue here. It says, "In a release sent to Rig Zone earlier this month, Zenita, which describes itself as a leading ocean freight rate benchmarking and intelligence platform, said the seizure of a container ship by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz on April 13th is extremely concerning and threatens to put trade lanes in the Middle East at risk." So you can see here the demonstration. This is a trade routes, okay, highlighted in red, okay, or from the Strait of Hormuz, okay, around the area of Saudi Arabia up to the Suez Canal. Okay, so that trade route is responsible for a lot of importing of goods and oil that these nations rely on, especially America, which that oil supply on behalf of what comes from the Strait of Hormuz, accounts for about 10% of America's oil imports. Okay, so this is gonna devastate the economy, the already failing economy of Esau's America, Babylon the Great. All right. So going back to this article here, it says, jumping down. So the latest incident follows ongoing conflict in the Red Sea region. You see that? Okay, you just prophesied about that in Jeremiah 49:21. So this is biblical prophecy. It further confirms that the Bible, okay, is a book of the Lord, not the Talmud. And ironically, you devils subscribe to the Talmud, which is full of detestable wickedness and perverseness. Okay, including the condoning of harlotry. Okay, in the Talmud, which is clearly forbidden in the scriptures. Okay, sodomy. Okay, then your Pink City annual Tel Aviv parade down there in the Holy Land, which is why in Zechariah 9:6 it further says that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. You Gentiles are over there. You Amalekites. Okay, and you other Gentiles, mainly you Amalekites. Okay, you natural Gentiles over there. Okay, all right. Another wickedness that you subscribe to in the Talmud, as opposed to the Bible, which further exposes you devils to be the wicked. Okay, and that's why the second Ezra 15:6 spoke about your hurtful works being fulfilled, your wickedness. And this is why death is coming to you. This is why the plagues of the Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is getting ready to befall upon the heads of you devils with pain, as it says in Jeremiah 30:24, man. All right, around thereabout. Okay. So it says the latest incident follows ongoing conflict in the Red Sea region, the gateway to the Suez Canal. All right. It says the latest incident follows ongoing conflict in the Red Sea region, the gateway to the Suez Canal, which has seen freight container ships avoiding the area due to missile attacks by a Houthi militia. It added, and I just read about that in the other article I brought out. Okay. It says Peter Sand, a chief analyst at Zenita, said in the release an already bad situation in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden has just got worse and could put ocean freight container imports and oil exports in the Middle East at risk. All right. It says on his site, Driad describes the Strait of Hormuz as a narrow 21-mile wide channel separating Iran from the Arabian Peninsula. It is used to transport a fifth of the world's petroleum liquids, which is around 21 million barrels or $1.2 billion worth of oil every day, Driad states on its site. The majority of Saudi Arabia's crude exports pass through the Strait of Hormuz, meaning much of the oil-dependent economy's wealth is situated there. Similarly, 10% of the U.S.'s total oil imports per month transit the straits, it added. All right. So that's pretty much the point. To make matters worse, this article here, all right, on Watch.Guru says BRICS, another country officially ditches the U.S. dollar, which is Venezuela. Okay, which is another devastating blow to the American empire for the fact that Venezuela is another oil-rich country, further identifying who the tribe of Asher is. How it speaks about how their feet would be dipped in oil. Okay, so it says the U.S. pressing sanctions on developing countries is making them cut ties with the dollar and look for alternative avenues. BRICS is filling in a void and helping other developing nations to survive without using the U.S. dollar for trade. Sanctions might prove costly to the U.S. as the world is looking at de-dollarization to strengthen its local currencies and native economies. So jumping down, it says, on the heels of de-dollarization and sanctions, a new country has officially ditched the U.S. dollar for oil trade. The decision comes straight from the BRICS playbook of using local currencies for cross-border transactions and not the U.S. dollar. All right, it says here, read here to know how many sectors in the U.S. will be affected if BRICS ditches the dollar for trade. See here, Venezuela ditches the U.S. dollar for oil trade. Okay. Let me get ready for this madness back here. Got these Roman centurions out here. Stopping traffic. So it says Venezuela's state-run oil company, PDVSA, plans to use digital currencies to settle crude oil trade and not the U.S. dollar. The move comes after the U.S. reimposed the sanctions on Venezuela, making it harder for the Latin American country to trade. Also, the U.S. made it difficult for the country to export crude oil, and Venezuela is now looking at digital currency payments. Venezuela has also applied to join BRICS and is looking to be a part of the grouping. Okay, so them joining BRICS will also be further devastating to the American empire. Okay, for the fact that you devils are losing your international leverage to the petrodollar. All right, so this is going back to this information here. It says, read here. The U.S. sectors to be effective if BRICS ditches the dollar. Okay, it says the BRICS alliance is aiming to uproot the U.S. dollar's global supremacy by promoting local currencies for trade settlements. BRICS wants to strengthen their native economies by cutting ties with the U.S. dollar for cross-border transactions. The bloc is on a world tour convincing developing countries to use local currencies for trade and not the U.S. dollar. Okay, so it says BRICS 3 U.S. financial sectors to be affected if dollar is ditched as payment. Okay, it says a total of 3 financial sectors in the U.S. will take a direct hit if BRICS ditches the dollar for cross-border payments. The sectors that could begin to decline include banking, foreign exchange, tourism, and consumer goods and production. Okay, and that's a major part right there I wanted to highlight, because you proud ass Babylonians, you Americans, that pride your lives off of the pleasure of the flesh, the false perception of living. You will no longer have that mentality when there's no more water, when the water's cut off, the gas is cut off, electricity is cut off. Okay, no more OnlyFans. You harlots. Okay, we no longer prioritize folly. Okay, for example, that's why another reason why Hosea 2:11 it says the prophesy of the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah will remove folly and mirth from the earth. Okay, it's really it's in dealing with the folly and mirth that to be ended in Jerusalem. The reason why we got exiled from there, from the Holy Land, because of our wickedness, scattered across the 4 corners, mainly within the Western Hemisphere, the North Country. Okay, where the bulk of Jacob, the capital of Jerusalem, are prophesied to be delivered from in Jeremiah 16 and so forth, for exposing devils as the wicked. Because in Hosea 1:7 speaks about how the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah will not save Yasharallah, okay, through the sword and horses and so forth, okay, through military gear, okay, military gear in this case, okay. It further exposes you damn Amalekites, because through the policy, the Balfour Declaration, okay, you further justify waging war on them Ishmaelites over there in the Holy Land. And that's not a fulfillment of Hosea 1:7 and similar precepts on how the authentic lost to the tribe of Israel were to be redeemed from the curses of the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah. Okay, so you devils are being exposed in every aspect imaginable, man. And and that's a part of your internal judgment in Malachi, the 1st chapter, before you get externally judged through the war, through this last war's war, okay, between the realms, Revelation, the 12th chapter, between Yahushua and the Elohim, okay, by Yashadawadah and the armies of the heathen, okay. You are to be broken down, geoeconomically, okay, politically, okay, socially, where you're losing your spirit of bondage, as it says in Isaiah 19, okay, on behalf of modern day Egypt, the house of bondage, America, okay. And this is part of that judgment. So it says below are the 3 financial sectors that will be impacted. The U.S. dollar is not used for settlements anymore, and it's not going to be. This is why Esau is going to further justify, okay, replacing the petrodollar with the market chip, the mark of the beast. Okay, why Yuval Noah Harari, spoke about human beings being hackable animals. Okay, where human beings would be hacked with this chip that would have surveillance inside the skin as opposed on top of the skin. That's through the chip. Okay, so it says here are the 3 financial sectors in the U.S. affected, as listed here. And the first one is banking and finance. That's why a lot of these banks, okay, are foreclosing. They're shutting down, banking branches and forcing people to transition over to online banking. And online banking, okay, is not profitable either. Okay, because there's the issue with online banking. Who are the people going to speak to? Then Esau replacing ATMs with ITMs. Okay. All right, and so this is another omen of the destruction of America. This is it says technology and fintech, consumer goods and retail. It says first and foremost, the banking and financial sector will be the hardest hit as foreign exchange will begin to decline. The forex markets run on supply and demand, and if the demand for the U.S. dollar dips, the U.S. central bank will find it harder to import the dollar. All right, if the central banks of BRICS countries don't accumulate the dollar, the U.S. will see its currency returning home. Moreover, the U.S. has been importing its inflation to other nations for years, and a return of the currency will lead to hyperinflation in the homeland. So damn piece of steak will be like $200, $300 soon, man. That's not far-fetched, because that's already pretty much the case in Venezuela. Okay, so that's another question as well. Like, why Venezuela, being an oil-rich country, are they in a hyperinflationary period? Because of Esau Edom. Okay, invading these territories of these nations. Okay, exacerbating and exhausting their resources. As further mentioned in that book, Diary of an Economic Hitman, or something of that nature, man. I actually got to do some more reading on that book, because I just came in the mail. But so it further goes into how these devils are set up. They do the CIA. They present a proposition to these countries, to essentially bow down, okay, or be persecuted. And that's why they took out Libya's Gaddafi. That's the same reason why Venezuela is in straits. Same reason why America is in straits, okay? Because that wickedness, okay, is coming home. Like that worldly saying, the roosters have come home, however it goes, okay? So anyway, it says, secondly, I'm going to jump down to this point here. It says, lastly, in the conclusion, the everyday consumer goods in the retail sector will see prices skyrocketing. Also, inflation will take a grip on the markets, leading to prices of day-to-day commodities turning expensive. And people are already struggling in America battling the great, like it was mentioned in a statistic not too long ago. If you're not a millionaire in America battling the great, then you're struggling in some kind of capacity, man. A lot of people are being evicted, okay, especially in these high traffic areas like California, New York, Illinois, mainly Chicago, okay. To make matters worse, you got, Esau throwing salt on the wound, okay, to eventually bring about hyperinflation in America battling the great and starve out a lot of people. And that goes into that famine, the prophecy of famine. Okay, it's all you proud ass Babylonians, you modern day Babylonian Americans. Okay, a lot of you gonna starve to death, man. Okay, and then cannibalism is gonna be a further result of Esau's Hegelian dialectic. Okay, prophesied in Isaiah the 9th chapter. So it says, also inflation will take a grip on the markets, leading to prices of day-to-day commodities turning expensive. Moreover, the Biden administration must act quickly to counter BRICS and stop the decline of the U.S. dollar. So I'm gonna go over to, I'm gonna segue over to Revelation 18 chapter. And it says, Revelation chapter 18, and I'm gonna start from the top. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And you see how it was shy. All right, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right, jump down to verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And a cup which she hath filled to her double. All right, that cup of indignation is what you Edomites are going to have to drink. Okay, for the wickedness that you have committed against Yahweh by Shemeshah by afflicting and oppressing his people, man. Placing them in slavery, okay? stealing $1 billion of wages from us post-slavery, okay, through these taxes, okay, bombing so-called black Wall Street down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, okay, you're gonna have to pay for all the wickedness you've done against us, man. The wickedness of the Trail of Tears against the Gadites, so-called natives, okay, the Battle of Alamo. So you devils have a lot of blood on your hands, man. This is part of your judgment, okay. And on top of that, you're gonna be paid back. You're gonna reap what you've sown for afflicting these other nations. It says in Isaiah 14:6 and so forth. Verse 7 says, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God Yahweh who judgeth her. Okay? So before you get hit with these nukes in this last world war, you're going to suffer economically, all right, through your economy failing you. Verse 12, verse 11, the merchandise of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thyine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep, and horses and chariots and slaves, okay, including the debt slaves of America that have social under the Social Security tax, and souls of men. Okay. Verse 14, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Okay. So before that happens, you got people that continue to seek the counsel of Esau Edom, satanic counsel of Esau Edom, okay, that have adopted his mindset, okay, of living through the flesh, okay. They're under the impression that everything is still all good, because they still have running water, electricity, gas. 2nd Ezra 16-21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they should think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Because people, part of that confusion is going to go into why gas prices is further skyrocketing. That's by way of that war over there in modern day Asia. Okay, that's why 2nd Ezra 16:1 says, woe be unto Asia, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, the so-called Middle East. Okay, on behalf of war provocation of the self-proclaimed white man, Esau Edom, the devil the Bible speaks of, further provoking these other foreign nations, these heathen, into war. And out of retaliation, all right, they're further waging similar tactics of warfare, especially geoeconomical warfare, on Esau. Okay, by compromising the imports, okay, in that area, around Yehoshaphat, in Joel the 3rd chapter, where a lot of nations benefit off of international trade. And that's going to further affect these economies, man. All right, increasing hyperinflation, and skyrocketing oil prices. So using Texas as an example, down in Texas, we're pretty much spoiled for the fact that we don't really, have gas. Our gas prices are not really, at the point of where California's gas prices are. But that's going to change very soon. That's going to change very soon, man. It's the foreseeable future, not the distant future. Okay? That's why people think that victuals are cheap right now. I mean, when you look up the word victuals, I believe it's the Hebrew word kapal. But let me go and just verify that. Let me see where it's at. Maybe it's in Yeah, so this is get the etymology of the word victuals in the Hebrew. Okay, Salakia. So the Hebrew word for victuals is akal. Okay, akal meaning food supply. Okay, necessities including oil. Okay, so these are the victuals that people think are cheap, tying into their security. Like it says, it's prophesied in Ezekiel the 7th chapter in 1 Thessalonians the 5th chapter. Okay, sudden destruction is going to fall upon these people who trust in Egypt and go and run down to Egypt for help, to protest against tyranny, corruption, begging the devil to stop being the devil, which is kind of productive. Okay, because he was created as the perfect devil. Okay, and running down to Egypt for all other manners of so-called hope. Okay, because they trust in the devil. Because he's, like it says in Proverbs 29 chapter. Okay, many would seek the ruler's favor. Okay, the wicked hands the earth was given into in Job the 9th chapter is Esau, Edom. Okay, so you damn devils in one body in Beelzebub, claiming that Esau is not the devil. You're gonna be destroyed, man. Because you receive a consolation on this side. You're trying to keep Jake asleep. So Lord is not going to spare you when you cry upon him in the time of your distress. Like it says in Proverbs the 1st chapter, he will laugh in the face of your calamity. All you false prophets out there, you wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay? That took that Judas purse. So this the Hebrew word here, akal, okay, of the word victuals, okay, is food supply or necessities. And that's gonna be further affected by what's going on over there in the so-called Middle East, man. Okay, this is a real reason why, it says in 2 Ezra 16, why that great confusion could come here, because Esau's government is not going to, explain to these people, the real reason why these things are happening. What they're going to do is they're going to blame it on America's enemies. Okay? Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. But like it says in Isaiah 65:13, the servants of the Lord shall eat and drink, okay, through divine intervention. Okay, just like the Heavenly Father, Yahweh fed Elijah, our forefather Elijah, through ravens. He's going to perform similar miracles, man, and greater in these last days. Because when it's one thing to put on a garment, like one of the brothers recently said, it's one thing to put on garments, to go out to the highways and hedges with the sword, we in the Bible, spiritual sword, and rebuke Esau and preach the good tidings to our people, the gospel. But pretty soon, the only thing that we're gonna have to rely on is our inner garments, man. This is why the Lord is chastising those who he loves now, to purge what he doesn't desire, okay, from that leaven, so that way we may be further acceptable before his judgment seat, to be considered to be spared, man. Because it says that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So people don't understand how critical this spiritual war is. Okay, how this devil is preying upon the weak and the vulnerable, and that's really Yasharallah, our people. All right, the impoverished, the downtrodden. Okay, and that's why this is why there's not going to be a cloak for the sins of our people, because Yahweh Bashim Yeshua speaks to his prophets, and that's always been the case. Okay, in Jeremiah 28, he speaks about the prophets Yasharallah prophesying against wickedness, against wicked empires. Okay, pestilence, famine. Okay, and so forth. So there's gonna be a cry for wine in the streets, as in information, knowledge, wisdom. But Esau's not gonna give that to these people. He's not gonna give it to our people. Okay. You see, and this is why people are gonna be destroyed, and that's why, their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of Egypt, which are already in a spiritual sense, and it'll be in a little sense real soon, as for a result of these plagues, man. So back in Revelation chapter 18, I'm gonna jump down to verse 15, and it says, and the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Because these nations no longer be able to make money off the whore. All right, through the petrodollar. Verse 16, and saying, alas, alas, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls, for 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as traded by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? The golden city in Isaiah 14 chapter is a city of prosperity and prominence, America, Babylon the Great. That same beautiful woman that our forefather John the Revelator prophesied, prophesied of his vision of this whore sitting upon many waters, which is clearly America, man. Verse 19, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For 1 hour is she made desolate. Because America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Okay, in this last World War. And this is why, the threats of America's enemies on behalf of Russia and so forth, threatening to destroy this place with their hypersonic missile capabilities and so forth, for the lines of with this prophecy. And speaking of that, I believe there's an article that I had on that. Yeah, it's on appnews.com. It says North Korean leader Kim leads rocket drills that simulate a nuclear counterattack against enemies. So they're further part of this World War III algorithm. Okay? All right? Orchestrated by the man of war himself, Oppenheimer, to destroy America, Babylon the Great, leaving this place left neither root nor branch, as it says in Malachi, the 4th chapter. It says, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un supervised salvo launches of the country's super large multiple rocket launchers that simulated a nuclear counterattack against enemy targets. State media said Tuesday, adding to tests and threats that have raised tensions in the region. Just jumping down to the point. It says, it says a report described the drill as aimed at demonstrating the strength and the diverse attack means of North Korea's nuclear forces and deepening tensions with the United States and South Korea, which it portrayed as warmongers, raising tensions in the region with their combined military exercises. So along the lines of North Korea, okay, big brother China, Russia, and the rest of the BRICS nations and allies, they will shoot thermonuclear missile warheads on America. And all 200 million of them in Revelation 9 chapter will detonate and leave that beam of destruction through this destroying wind to destroy America off the face of the fucking map, man. It's about time for this place to be destroyed, okay? So, back in Revelation 18 and 20, it says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. That's what we're doing. Rejoicing over the downfall of our enemy. It says, for 1 hour is she made desolate. And a mighty angel took up a stone, like as a great millstone, and cast into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Okay? So America has an expiration date on it. All right? So I'm going to bring this out in Joel 3:19. Says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Okay, and that's in the Holy Land. Okay, during the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, you devils forced us to flee to northwest Africa around the mountains where Yahushua prophesied for us to dwell, where he commanded us to go. Where his trans-Saharan slave trade took place, for identifying who the law to the tribe of Israel are, including the so-called Negroes of the southern kingdom that predominantly dwell there in that area. So now we're at the point where we are finally rejoicing at your downfall, okay? In redemption of the curses that have been bestowed upon us for our transgressions against the laws, statutes, commandments of our power, okay? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abba Yahweh, okay? So I'm gonna go end this off in Baruch chapter 4, verse 25, and it reads, "My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High God, Yahweh. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck." So I'm going to end it off on that note. All right, pray this lesson was further edifying, exhorting to the elect of Yasharallah, and give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who was the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach, Wadash. Give me the spirit to do this video. And with that, I'm going to wash the ball to the wicked, shalom to the elect, and on to the next one.